gonna go a little ways. Come on, I just need to know you're there. Let's go together. All right, here we go. Ready? All right, little red truck says, let's roll. Are you ready? Come on. Good dogs. It's making me think of this song that I wrote a long time ago. And it goes like, slow down your life. Take a deep breath. Sit back and rock easy. Slow down your life. Sit back and rock easy now. I said, slow, come on, you know. Oh, I don't know when this is gonna get fixed. November 7th is when this road got torn up, and you guys ain't fixed it yet. It's January 2018. Hello, are you watching this? Come on.
Here they are right now. They're from Corpus Christi, Texas.
The Pozo Seco Singers. Welcome.
She walks kind of easy. She never says what she means.
This is an unusual sound and a song that's destined for very big
She
kingdom.
walks kind of easy, but she never says what she means. She's the mother of a brother.
I'd like to know this name, though. What's the story on that? Where'd you get this Pozo Seco? Would you tell us?
That's the one question I know the answer to.
Creole woman, down on your knees, trying to please your man. You had a hard life, but I made you my wife, and I love you just as much as I can.
This is Ron's story. You're next.
Yes, there is a little
She
story.
wears a red bandana tied around her long black hair. She wears a red bandana tied around her long black hair.
Long black hair.
You know her clothes ain't fancy, oh, but Lordy, Lordy, I don't care. She's my Creole woman, down on her knees, trying to please her man. She's had a hard time, but I made her my wife. I love her just as much as I can, and I can love her just as much as I can, and I can love her just as much as I can.
Well, I'm standing by the depot, standing in the rain.
Hey, sis, come on in.
Stand forever.
It was this action. I went
You picked up the weights.
Oh, yeah. I saw these weights on the floor over here, sis, and I go like this. I go like, oh, that's cool. Sis is like lifting weights. So I go like this, and I go. Because
This is the light.
I can't do that anymore. I have to lock my elbow. This shoulder will not lift that. You got to be
Yeah,
nuts,
these
man.
are the light ones. This is when you should be doing with that.
I want you to know Ruby's project is coming along beautifully.
Now that's something I really can't wait to
Well,
hear.
I can't wait to get it finished, and I love that Alan Reynolds is going to come sing with me on it. Is that too cool?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like me back in the old JMI days in some way. So Kathy Harrison and I went to Ray High School, both graduates in '65, and back at that time, she and a few of her friends became fans of the Pozo Seco Singers, a group that I was in back in my high school days. And that's where we first met. And then the Pozos went off, I moved away, I didn't really know her that well, and suddenly she comes back into my life at one point and says, hey, you're still singing and you're still doing stuff. And I went, yeah. Everything seemed to just happen very quickly once we reconnected after so many years, and the music was really our bond to start out with. And Kathy just jumped right into my life and has been here ever since. And we had this product we were thinking about.
All these products, we were just in the dreaming phase. Now we were
Right.
talking about, wouldn't it be cool to have a record company?
Right.
You know, you think we were 30 or something, and we were like 60. Wouldn't it be cool if, or Yeah, 60. Wouldn't it be cool if we could get in a van and drive around in all the mountains and the hills and record people and archive all this stuff? And oh man, that sounds like so much fun. So since many of us had Puff the Bunny in high school and college, we named it Puff Bunny
Puff the
Records.
Bunny.
Do you speak Spanish?
What's a funny question? No. Yes, a little bit.
What, do you know what Pozo Seco means?
No, what is Pozo Seco?
Pozo Seco means a dry well. They are called the Pozo Seco Singers, the dry well singers. I just thought I'd kind of toss that in.
Yeah, I know.
Just in case somebody asks you today, what's Pozo Seco mean? You know, then you'll be able to tell
That's
them,
right.
I think we were at my house practicing in Corpus. Donnie and Lofton and I, we were practicing our folk stuff.
When y'all were rehearsing,
We're looking at you through the blinds.
we were outside the window looking in. I think we were probably in cutoffs and barefooted. You know, and y'all laughed at us and told us to come in. And so we were just, you know, y'all were like stars and we were like fans.
Here they are right now. They're from Corpus Christi, Texas, and this is called Time.
Some people run, some people crawl, some people don't even move at all.
I, you know, hooked up with Don Williams and Lofton Klein, and they formed the Pozo Seco Singers there in Corpus and started recording for Columbia.
Here they were, the Pozo Seco Singers, and they were great. I mean, they were on the Smothers Brothers, they were on all these different shows, the Mike Douglas show or whatever that was, and afternoon show. And it was like, it was just so exciting.
And we were all so happy for them. It meant we didn't get to see them much, but, you know, we were really happy for them.
I could still tell you the street I was on and where I was when I first heard the recording of the song Time by the Pozo Seco Singers, and it stopped me cold. I pulled over to the curb to hear it.
Time, oh time, where did you go? Time, oh good, good time.
So in 1950, Bill Quinn added this place to the studio, and they changed the name to Gold Star. And because there was no electronic reverbs and stuff at the time, they built in reverb chambers like they had at the Columbia studios.
Neat. I can go in.
Yeah,
right?
please go in, have a sing. We've even had people sing naked in these things.
Do you sound better when you sing naked?
Well, I do.
Edmark Records was the one that brought us here to the studio. And the song Time, Michael Merchant, when he wrote it, I'll never forget bringing it to the group and saying, I have this song that's really special.
We'd go down on the waterfront in Houston, what we call the Tea Heads, and we'd have those beautiful folk concerts out on the summer nights under the moonlight on the water and all of that, you know. And it was just so beautiful, you know. It all just kind of flowed together, and you just wanted to come up with a new song for the next one, just to have something to share with your friends. That's really how Time was born.
And the guys were so funny. They were like, well, it's okay. But we really like that song, you know, Here Down the Road I Go, I think was the name of it. Because Don sounds like Johnny Cash. And I thought for a minute, and I said, well, there's already a Johnny Cash. That doesn't make sense to me, but, you know, I was outvoted because I only had one vote in the group. There were 3 of us, so 2 voted that way. They put it out as a B-side. The little record got turned over by the DJs, and Time became our first and probably longest running hit for all time. I think we were on the charts for about 50 some odd weeks. Over a year, we hung in the charts. Teetered, tottered, but we made it. We made it into the charts. It was an exciting time, yeah.
Johnny, run to the window. Daddy's coming through the meadow. What's holding in his hand. Johnny, it looks like a present for you. Daddy's bringing home a present for his little man.
We were such green kids. We didn't know anything about anything. I mean, Don was about 27 or 28 at that time, and I was just about 19. I don't remember how old Lofton was. And Don, being the oldest in the group, I think right from the beginning, seemed to be the one that Lofton and I looked to, in a way, be the emissary to talk to whoever needed to get talked to. I certainly didn't feel like, as a 17, 18-year-old kid, especially female, anybody was going to pay much attention to what I said. The guys took up the slack for me. You know, Lofton would sort of be protective, and Dom would sort of do the business. He'd wake us all up to get on the planes or be someplace the next morning. He'd be the first one up and call everybody, "Are you ready? Let's get your bags." We were getting messages from Columbia Records that they wanted to sign us and release it on Columbia. That label had so many of my heroes on it, and we were gonna be on that label. I was just so like, wow.
Already mama's cooking Papa something to eat. At a half past Papa, he's ready to go. He jumps in his feet.
When we first met Albert Grossman, it was through Bob Johnson, our producer at Columbia Records. Bob was a big name producer at Columbia Records, and he produced a ton of people that were huge. And he was friends with Albert. Albert had Peter, Paul, and Mary. They were big. Dylan, hello, Bob Dylan. So Albert flew to Corpus Christi. I'll never forget it. It was really fascinating because Albert at that time looked a lot like Benjamin Franklin. And here's the whole little town behind us. You know, the Folk Music Society people were greeting Albert Grossman, you know, the king of managers in the folk pop industry, and he's coming to sign our little group from Corpus. And his hair on his shoulders, my mother, when he walked down, she said, "Well, is that his mother?"
That's how my Papa goes into town. Takes every bit of a night and a day to even reach a place where the people stay.
So Albert came. Albert had a habit of doing this a lot when he talked. And we sat in the living room and we played this song, that song. We played a lot of songs for Albert. Albert listened. And then he said, "Well, okay, I'm gonna sign you and da-da-da, and we'll be talking about contracts." And then we got the contracts. People like Bob Dylan, who was signed to Albert, Ian and Sylvia, Gordon Lightfoot, Odetta. Just so many amazing artists, and there we were, the Pozos, right in there amongst all those people who were my heroes. I remember being in Gordon Lightfoot's living room, and Odetta is sitting in his easy chair, and I'm on the couch, and I'm like this, because when she used to, I had her album, and when she would sing this song on there that went like, "Roberta, let your hair hang low." Her voice would just resonate through the room, and I'd go like, whoa. And then we got to do concerts with her, and it was like, it was like my dream come true. That was my time of dreams come true. All these amazing icons in folk music that I was rubbing shoulders with and actually being on stage with. One day when we were in New York, I got called into Sam's office, and I've been trying to remember Sam's last name. I do think I'm right, Sam, that was your name. And Sam said to me, "You know, you could go out on your own. You could really do this. Columbia would back you. We would back you. You don't have to be, you know, with these two guys. We would support you there." Basically, it was kind of that kind of conversation. And I remember sitting there for a minute. I was about 19, I guess, when that happened. And we had hit records with Columbia, and we were traveling around, Lofton, Donnie, and me. And I thought, that just doesn't even feel right to me. So I looked him right in the eye and I said, "Well, why would I want to do that, man? Like, I got here because I had these guys on each side of me, and it was like one for all and all for one. Why wouldn't I continue that way? I do know that the same thing happened to Janis Joplin when she came into Albert's stable and he signed her. I remember when she left the group. It broke my heart because I felt like when I met all of them in New York that they really were a team. They were the same kind of team that we were as a folk group, and that those guys really took care of her. I watched it when they would be around her, how they all just would, what do you need, Janis? You know, I'll take care of that. Okay, well, it was just, and that was what I felt, having a couple of guys, you know, you're a woman on the road, just feels good to have guys that help you out. They're bigger than you, they're stronger than you. It was great. It was a great feeling. So I didn't want to go without that. And I think it was a mistake for them to talk her into, you know, leaving the group behind. I thought that was a big mistake. The group went on to be a big success. We were in the charts for a whole 2 years with multiple singles.
I'm your baby, and once in a while I'm your lady.
I don't know what would have happened had I gone out on my own, but I did not always agree with the opinions around me. No.
There'll be no strings to bind your hands, not if my love can't.
So when you pitch me a song that says, there'll be no strings to bind my something, not if my love can't tie you down, basically, you know. And we can make love tonight, have whatever we have, and then if you leave tomorrow, it'll be okay. Just call me angel of the morning. And I was like 19, and I went, no, I'm not singing that. I don't feel that way. That sounds like a woman who is not only a victim, but allowing herself to be a victim and is telling you that it's okay that you make her a victim. I don't know. I could not do it.
Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby.
Well, both of my sidekicks, they looked at me with a bit of mystery in some ways. I think they got it after a while, but the record company was totally mad at me, and because it did become a big hit.
Maybe the sun's light will be dim, and it won't matter anyhow.
To love and to justice between fellow human beings.
If morning's echo says we've sinned, well, it was what I wanted now. And if we're
I asked you questions out of the blue about, say, John Denver, you tell that story and Sean picks it up. Is that okay with you?
So which John Denver story is this?
Well, how many you got?
You mean like cutting jet plane?
Yeah. That's cute.
Check that list. Could be a time for a little sangria over the rocks. I also have beer. I have an IPA. I have a very low gravity IPA of 4.7, which is really mild, but it's a nice IPA.
I think more of a sangria guy.
Okay. I know I got 3 sangrias. We're on it. The night that we had heard Jet Plane and John had been in and out of the office, and we all decided to go to dinner because we had a session that night. We were going to cut Leaving on a Jet Plane. And John went to dinner with us, and I think we probably had maybe a couple of too many cocktails together. And we get to the session, and I'm rocking and rolling, but I'm having a little trouble staying on pitch. It's kind of funny, but we made it through. I loved it. And then we found out that on the very same night we were cutting Jet Plane, Peter, Paul, and Mary were cutting it. The very same night. Well, we're both with Grossman Management, so who gets to put it out? Duh. Peter, Paul, Mary. Mary Travers, who, I mean, come on, it's the ultimate version of it, I will say that. Mary just sang the stew out of it, and she made it her song. Have a sip there, bud. Sean, you're not drinking enough. Yeah, here we go. Pause on a second.
I talked to the trees, and they never listened to me. I talked to the stars, but they never hear me. The breeze hasn't time to stop and hear what I say. I talk to them all in vain. Stupid song. What did you say? Stupid song. Don't pick a real nice time to tell me about it. Well, I wanted to surprise you.
We were doing a tour with the Smothers Brothers. I think they just had started their television show, and it was beginning to gain favor, and it was getting followers, because they were on for a few years. So we were booked to open for them on this particular tour that we were signed up to do several dates. Denver was one of the first ones. And in the first set, Lofton, one of his roles as a member of the group was to be our spokesperson on stage. He was so funny. Don and I got to where we would say, so, man, like, what are you gonna say tonight? Because sometimes he just seemed a little insensitive, maybe, to the times or whatever. And he ended up that night in the first set telling a joke that it perhaps implied that a very famous singing artist might be a person who preferred someone of the same gender as a partner. Let's put it that way, gently if I can. It wasn't nearly that nice. And the word came down the next morning from Tommy Smothers that we were off the tour. It wasn't how we wanted to present ourselves as a group, and basically we were getting a lot of pressure from the people who were putting in time and money to make this group successful. So we had to go and tell Lofton that we felt like, you know, he needed to leave the group.
Mary had a little lamb.
To me, Ron Shaw added class to the Pozo Seco Singers. He raised us, I thought, sort of elevated us in regard to our audiences and our ability to actually entertain more people.
And every story ended with happily ever after. I remember feeling that I'd be safe if I didn't step on a crack. The days when the sun was up ahead and the wind was at my back.
I loved singing with him. He just popped right in there to that third part harmony with us, and to me was a real natural in that way.
Tell me, dear, didn't you?
I don't know how you do it. It's been so long since I've seen you, and you just look the same.
You have changed.
Really?
Really?
That's why I love you. Well, I guess we've changed a little bit since those days when we could leap through hoops, it seemed like, catch planes at all hours, be exhausted, and just keep going on the road.
We did too.
We did. It was wonderful.
They don't talk like that anymore. Come on, that's what you told me. That was one of the first things you told me. Now, if you go up to Maine, this is what they'll say to you. Can't get there from here. It's just funny.
When Lofton left the group and you came on board, I'm trying to remember now who it was that connected you with us. Was it Milt?
Milt and maybe, what was his name?
Grossman?
Grossman.
So Milt Oken and Albert Grossman knew each other.
That's right.
And Albert was our manager, and he knew that we needed a new third singer, and you came. And wow, I loved it from the beginning, because finally I felt like we had a kind of a spokesperson, because Don and I seemed to be the lead singers in the group, and we weren't much on really talking a lot in between songs. I felt like during that period when it was you and me and Don that we did our best performances.
I think we did.
We sang the best. I love the album that you were part of, that last album that we did with Elliot Mazer that was released by Columbia. It was just our finest time of work was when you were with the group. We did that wonderful album, Shades of Time. You're on that, ooh-wee, ride me high, tomorrow's the day, my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Oh, I love that song. I can't remember the rest of it now, but that was a good one.
Ride me high, tomorrow's the day, my bride's gonna come.
Oh, too much fun, I can't help it. We just always have too much fun.
Easy chair.
Well, it is unusual today to find a popular recording group that appeals to adults as well as young people. And our next group does fall into that category, the Pozo Seco Singers. Welcome them.
All of the national TV shows we did, which we did the Joey Bishop show, which at the time, was the competition for the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. But Mike Douglas had a huge following. And so to me, doing his show was a kind of peak for us as a group.
Warm yellow sun left me alone in a world meant for loving you, girl. I miss your loving feeling, your sweet kiss and that loving.
I think we did 3 or 4 songs, which was unbelievable, because I watched his show often and don't ever remember him having a musical group on that did more than a couple of tunes or so at a time.
Loving feeling, your sweet kiss and that no more yellow sun.
I enjoyed you young people very much, and what should please you more than that is that Roberta Peters had some very nice things to say about your singing. I'd like to know this name, though. What's the story on that? Where'd you get this Pozo Seco? Would you tell us?
That's the one question I know the answer to. It's my turn on this one. It's the sort of a colloquial term that comes around the South Texas Mexican border area, and it means dry well.
Ah, now we're back to Brownsville. I mentioned Brownsville earlier, you see?
Yes.
Across the border from Matamoros.
Right.
Yeah. Is that where you're from?
Corpus Christi's only about an hour and a half from there. Yeah.
Yes.
It's very close.
Oh, you're from Corpus?
I'm from Corpus, and Don is from Corpus, and Ron's from New Hampshire.
I was stationed...
That's about as far apart as you can get.
I was stationed at Corpus during World War II. Isn't that interesting? That I was, I mean? No, it's a nice town.
Well, how did the group...
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to ask one more question. There you go.
Now, all you can do to kill the whole thing is say, I don't know that story.
Well, it all started at a kind of a hootenanny type thing at one of the local colleges back home.
Mm-hmm.
And we were practicing backstage before we went on and got together and liked the sound and each other, and so we decided we'd stay together.
Yeah, but a girl that pretty, whether she sounded good or not, you would have hired her, wouldn't you?
Right.
I thought that was turkey trot. I got really good on that one.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, are my cheeks red? There's still steam coming out of my ears, or? Yeah. I think I had a hot flash.
Maybe the men aren't ready for it, but the revolution is on.
What is important is that the world is changing and that women at last are awakening to the fact that they have a right and a duty to enter into the world and change it.
Women, black people, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, and all the minorities, that all of us must stand up together and say no more.
And some of us go so far as to say that women should get paid and they should receive vacations with pay.
Yeah, but a girl that pretty, whether she sounded good or not, you would have hired her, wouldn't you?
Right. Fortunately, she sounds great, though.
She does indeed. What's the next song going to be?
Walk me out in the morning dew, my honey. Walk me out in the morning dew today. Can't walk you out in the morning dew, my baby.
Our version of Morning Dew on that show just still gives me chills when I see it. I love the way we sang that song.
All the people gone, my honey.
You know, as beautiful as Morning Dew was, it was a powerful song in that it was socially talking about how if the air we breathe becomes polluted, either with radiation or acid rain, we are no more. Everything dies. And I love that we finally recorded a song and released it as a single that had a very important message socially.
Walk me out in the morning dew today. Can't walk you out in the morning dew, my baby.
I think even Columbia felt like we were the more pop arm. And after I Can Make It With You, Baby, that seems to be what we became.
This is an unusual sound and a song that's destined for very big hitdom, if there is such a word. It's called I Can Make It With You.
I can make it with you, baby. I can make it with you, girl. I can make it with you, baby. With you by my side.
And then nothing happened with Columbia. They weren't supporting us. There wasn't any more calls coming to make another album. So we asked to be released from the label because once Albert Grossman, our manager, signed Janice, that really changed everything in regard to the feeling of support from not only our management, but also our record company.
I can make it with you, baby. I can make it with you, girl. I can make it with you, baby. I can make it with you, girl.
Those are the Pozo Seco Singers, and I'm not sure how to pronounce it because I hear it's 97 different ways on the radio. That's their version, Jackie Shannon.
Touches off campus unrest. The National Guard and other law enforcers are harassed by rock throwing and name calling.
Chicago wind blows my raincoat collar down.
Before things settle down, 400
As I walk down the street with a brown paper sack. Just the
Sunday morning sun woke me early. I just lay there, being cool. Then I thought I heard my mama call me. She said, "Get up, son. It's time for school."
Well, before we left Columbia and our contract, we had one more album to complete. And even though Ron had started the album with us, we were recording it in New York. Halfway through, he left to join his twin brother, Rick. Rick just got out of the Army, and I didn't want Ron to leave. I so wanted him to stay. But at the same time, I understood. He and Rick had this super duo in New Hampshire, and they're identical twins, so yeah, I got it.
Mind of mine is making me remember all my morning mama memories. If mama hadn't left me last September, I'd have more than morning mama.
Forgotten all about this. Brad Campbell, who was one of the Paupers, a Canadian group that were on our third album for Columbia Records, and Teddy Irwin, wonderful player who traveled with us for a few years after this. And that's me and Donnie Ray Williams. As he said, Donnie Williams, that's what he always went by back in those days. And me as Susan Taylor, which now I'm Taylor Pye. There's so many Susan Taylors in the world. I love you. Go in peace. But now I'm TP.
But she was kind, never cruel.
This was when we went from Pozo Seco Singers to Pozo Seco. We were trying to tell people we're still singers, but we don't have as many. And by then, we had no other players. We had no bass player, no guitar player. It was just me and Don singing, picking.
Along the way,
we did our best to carry on the tradition of doing good songs, great harmonies, and keeping kind of the group feel together for as long as we could. We did that for several years until we finally were just the two of us one day standing out on top of a bar, I think it was, in Nevada. And we looked at each other and we said, you know what? Let's don't do this anymore. Folk music was no longer pop music. And when your stage became standing on a bar singing, time, oh time, it just didn't feel right.
I knew that the Pozos had broken up, and Don had moved back to Texas and gone into the furniture business with his father-in-law. Jack Clement had decided to start a record label, and for some reason wanted me to manage it.
Well, it took a week or more. I bet you're surprised to find.
So I looked Susan up and was talking to her about, doing some recording for the label.
He convinced me that it would be a good idea just to come and play in the studio.
She was kind of lukewarm. I think she was pretty burned by the business by this time and had just sort of said, that's it, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I persisted.
He won me over in that way. I said, okay, let's just go play. You mean we're not cutting a hit record, we're not trying to do anything special, we're just gonna go play, make sounds, music. And that's how Finally Getting Home album for Susan Taylor happened.
won't you take me in if it's just for a while? Feed me on the tenderness of your sweet smile.
When Don sent out a flare from Texas, so to speak, said, wow, how can I get back to Nashville? And I immediately called up Alan.
She really was urging me to spend some time with him and trying to be helpful in getting him back here. But he thought it'd be about 6 months.
I think it was about a month. A month, and he was, here he came.
He was there at Pye's place with his wife and children and all his belongings in a U-Haul truck.
That was the beginning.
For Don.
Of Don, but yeah, beginning of Don Williams' return to Nashville.
And you actually co-produced some of Don's first few tracks that actually were released.
Yes, I co-produced Don's first 5 cuts that we did in the old Jack Track studios. We sort of did it just like we always had done it in the Pozos. I think out of the 5 things we cut on him, 3 charted.
I guess there's not much I can do or say. Saw my baby with another guy today.
Bob McDill and I had cut an album. Both of our albums were out there, but we were more folky, so things weren't happening for us in the same way they were starting to happen for Don. So I said, Alan, I'd really like to go to New York and find myself. And I know things are busy at the label right now, but Don's record's getting some airplay and mine's not doing so well. And I feel like I need to go to New York and really find me as a musician and a writer.
So fine, so fine, so fine, yeah. My baby's so doggone fine, send cold chills up and down my spine. Whoa, yeah, so fine.
Well, my sister.
I've actually only played it like one time before when I was over here with you.
It's an Irish bouzouki body with a banjo neck. It's called a banjola.
Really?
Why don't you play it a little bit?
Oh, you play something for
No,
me.
you play something.
I haven't played it
Hey,
yet.
you're the pro.
I haven't played it.
Well, just try.
There's a 4 and a 5, 5, so it's like.
There you go. Has a little magical sound to it. Okay, mark it.
Take some, Mark.
You remember when we first met?
Sort of.
Well,
Back at the
Barbara
old
and I
tracks,
moved
Jack's
from Memphis to Nashville, Murfreesboro, where she taught at MTSU, and I worked in Nashville at the bank. First person I called was our mutual buddy, Alan Reynolds.
Right.
And he said, come on over, we're cutting at Jack's Tracks today. So I came over there, and I think they were cutting Don Williams, I believe. I can't remember. But I remember meeting you and just struck by you and your personality. And of course, I was a fan of the Pozos, too. So I knew all your songs. And we met and got to know each other, and then all of a sudden you skipped town on me.
New York has folk,
Yeah.
and I'm just a folkie. So I went, I had best go where the folk would love.
Tells me so fine, yeah, so fine, yeah.
Did you go down and play the Gaslight?
Oh, I
and
met
all that?
Mike Porco at the Folk City.
Folk City,
Played
Gertie's
at
Folk
Folk
City,
City. Met Jack. I met Jack Hardy. Got to sit in his presence and see him. It was just a really great time.
So fine, yeah, my baby's so doggone.
And then from there up to the Berkshires, where that was Arlo country up there, and got to play with the musicians from his band. And so it just followed that folk trail. In the 80s, the Berkshires were popping. Arlo was there with his band, Shenandoah, and they all lived there. And then Grover and I got to be pals, and we started working together and writing together and doing stuff and doing shows together. And it was really a hotbed of folk songwriter-performers. They introduced me to good places to play, like the Red Lion Inn. And the first time I walked into the Red Lion Inn, saw their poster, Taylor Pye performing on this day, I went, yeah, I kind of like this person. And after that, I think I just kept wanting to meet Taylor Pye more and more.
I'm still the one on your mind.
You know, I was coming in from the Berkshires, you gotta remember, when I moved to Nashville. And I, for about a decade up there, just traveled around with my little sound system and pulled in enough money to make a living as a musician. But man, I was kind of tired after that.
Trust in the things you're hoping to find. Trust in the things you're hoping to find.
Well, one of the things I love about being Taylor Pye now is that I've had a couple of great guitar makers, and the one right now that I'm playing is from Short Mountain Guitars and Doug Spencer, and Doug put a pie on my guitar, which that way I know it's mine. It's like he did his own thing. I have pies on my other guitars. My pianos all have pies on them, but everyone makes a different pie. This is Doug's. Thanks, Doug. I had written Alan Reynolds a note, and I said, You know, I'm thinking about coming back. I know that I'm at the age, being an artist at this point is, you know, I'm not looking for me to come back and be an artist anymore on a label. But do you think songwriting would be something that perhaps would be something I could truly, immerse myself in if I come back? And I chewed on that for a while and thought, well, that's what I want to do. I want to go back and I want to build my little publishing company that I started in New York in '72. And I want to just write as best I can, maybe songs that have some meaning to others, that move them, maybe some that just give them solace. I don't know, it's the folky thing. It's like songs are about life to me in folk music. That's what it's always been about, is your everyday life. And being able to survive and not having to depend on being famous to me was a gift.
If you become famous in the music business, maybe it's the entire entertainment business, it draws a lot of energy that towards you that you may not necessarily like. She did not, once she got close enough to get a good look at it, she did not really hunger for fame.
Good evening, Liberty Arts. Yeah, tonight we have here we go. This is Liberty Arts here, and we have a show up and coming. So, bum-ba-da-bum. Time to set the tables up. I'm just gonna read this to you guys now. I know we're not on the air, and that's okay, because this is really for us sort of locally. There is an actual election day, December the 19th. So please, if you don't know about this, inform yourselves, because the only way...
Pa has always been very vocal about her political beliefs. Of course, women's rights, hatred of other people because of their race or their religious beliefs or their sexual orientation. Spending time with Pa, either just talking or having a meal together or writing songs together, opened up my eyes a little bit from a little South Mississippi country girl off the farm. And I met this woman who not only had strong beliefs, but was also willing to voice them in front of anybody.
Something's moving in my soul. Something's moving in my heart. Changing all I see.
Look at this, man. People just brought food tonight. That's so cool. You gotta dig in.
There's a whisper.
Stop it. Will you help me give a warm Liberty Arts live welcome to Jeff Plankenhorn and the Q? Please welcome Annie to the stage. Tsukamoto.
Used to being by myself, satisfied and free.
Pi is an inspiration because she's about 20 years older than me, I guess, and you know, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. She is an inspiration as a female musician who is still playing music.
Changing all I see, touching every part of me.
She was very open to my music, and even though my music is very different from other performers who play here, she liked what I'm doing, and also I love the space, and it's such a beautiful space.
There's no need to understand. I don't have to know. I'm willing to let go and be a stranger in this land.
Can you come back?
Of course.
Can I play
And I'll
with
tell
you again?
everyone, every time.
This is what I
I'm doing on top of Song Swarm album that I put together. There's the new Ruby Lovett project, which I'm so excited about to happen. Then also I have going on right now with kind of connected with this is Folk Alliance, alliances coming up. And you know what? I'm about to enter next year my 73rd revolution. So I'm not sure that I need a whole lot more. It's fun though. I love it. A SURFA. Do you know what that is? Southeast Regional Folk Alliance. It's my first time here. We're bringing the Song Swarm to Folk Alliance.
And do you know who Taylor Pye is?
I don't. I've heard her name circulating a lot.
This is the moment we've waited for.
This is my sound check song. This is my sound check song.
And you're aware of Taylor Pye, who she is?
Mm-mm. Who is it? Say it again.
Ain't that catchy, but it ain't that long. This is my sound check song.
Do you know who Taylor Pye is?
Taylor Pye. That name, I don't know.
This is my sound check song.
Thank you very much.
Oh, this is like 40 exercise. Lifting weights. Where's my caddy? Oh, caddy. It is a bit of a hike over here, isn't it? Anybody got time? 11? Okay, good. That must be us.
Also, there's a documentary crew that's been following.
Can't get rid of these guys. Listen, where's your car?
I want to bottle your enthusiasm and take it with me.
Oh, I love that. That's what Song Swarm's all about. Thank you.
Yeah.
The first time that I met Pye was somewhere around 1995, I believe it was, and have written probably some of my favorite songs that I've ever written with anybody. I've written with Pye. Howdy ho.
Hear it. Hey, it's for show.
How you doing?
Good morning.
I come back.
Well, thank goodness we need it. We need you here.
What are y'all doing?
We were just doing something on catfish.
Okay.
I did a little knee slappings thing. I don't know if we'll use it, but anyway, we got it in there.
Whose knee was you slapping?
Mine.
Oh.
You know, I got on my baggy pants so I can get that low tone here and the high tone here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. She's got this one song that she wrote. It's called Walking on the Moon.
Hi,
you ready?
I am. I was just telling Wheat, this is my favorite song that Herb McCullough and I wrote.
That song to me is kind of reminds me of Pye. You know, kind of childlike in her enthusiasm. But the thing that is so mesmerizing, I guess, about that song for me is the melody. I've never heard anything like that. Rolling when you're ready, Pie.
Okay, here we go.
I'm gonna be big, got nothing to lose. Gonna teach myself to play guitar and tie my shoes. I'm gonna learn to whistle soon. Someday I'll go walking on the moon. I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna be strong. Gonna learn to take care of myself when I'm alone. I guess there's not much I can't do. Someday I'll go walking on the moon.
It took me a while to get used to the idea even, because I just don't know why anyone would want to make a documentary about me and my life. I know a lot of very famous people, and I've worked with some very famous people, and I've helped some people become famous. But I'm grateful that I didn't have that job in my life, actually, because it's hard.
She is who she is. She doesn't put on fancy airs, and that's fine, because I always figure that what you see is what you get.
I think she loves music and just lives it, and has really found a much more joyful way to be an entertainer and be around music than being a star.
In my heart, I'm gonna be big.
I've watched some of the people that I've loved in my life become different people the more fame they got. And friends they'd had for many years fell by the wayside. And I'm lucky that actually it never happened to me, because I was able to dance on the edge, be creative, and do all the things I wanted because I was good enough to stay in the business with people supporting me, even if I didn't have hit records. Some of us became more famous from the group, and some of us didn't become as famous, but still stayed within our genre and enjoyed success in other ways. And that's been a mitzvah for me in my life, that I've been able to have a life that is like paradise and exquisite because I'm nobody famous. Yeah. I like it. Man, oh man.
Well, I
feel this whole room love that you're singing Peter, Paul, and Mary songs, Dylan songs. That was the age of it. It was the age of folk music at its height. 1960, that was 1964. Then I started a folk group, and we had folk, and I was one of the original members of the Corpus Christi Folk Music Society. We brought Peter, Paul, and Mary to town, but I was a kid.
So you got to meet Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Yeah, oh yeah. I actually our group ended up being with their same manager, so not only met them, but we performed with Odetta on stage, Gordon Lightfoot, all the greats back in those. We were folk. Let me show you this great one of you and me in camp. Do you remember when we all went, the three of us went to a photo booth? Check this out.
Oh my gosh, yes.
There it is. Actually, I like that pose. And I was told by Dr. Stroud, who I went to work for after Dr. Heaney, that that's very good for your eyes to do that.
Really?
So you should learn. Like, there it is. You have to practice it, but it's really a good thing. There it is. Yeah. And then you're kind of blurry for a while.
I thought her voice said it all. I mean, she was the lead singer of the Pozo Seco Singers. She wasn't the girl singer. She was more than that. She was the lead singer.
Still, I got a good feeling that these hard times will pass, 'cause it's all in all.
When I moved here, everything just like went pow.
Yeah?
And before we knew it, bam, we were gone out of here. I always particularly loved the last line, because you remember you wrote more than the three verses that the Pozos did. So it was hard for me to choose which three verses to do, but I picked them out really for my own personal feeling of life. And that line of, at midnight, I'm in between and wondering why.
I'm going home to Dixie, and it's gonna be all right. And when I'm gone,
We've got two invoices for the Rolling Stones, Light and Hopkins, in the 70s for sessions here. We can't find the tapes.
You don't suppose they got put in the wrong box?
I don't know.
I've done my time and paid some foolish dues. Still,
I had never heard of the Pozo Seco Singers, and then she went on to tell me that Pozo Seco means dry well. And, I didn't know exactly what to make of that.
Well, I remember you called me right after you wrote that thing.
I think
at
I
the kitchen
think I
table,
did.
and it was about noon, and you sang it to me a cappella.
I think I said something like, I think I'm channeling Tom Paxton or something.
Or something. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It certainly wasn't Tom back. But it's just so nice that our little music careers have kind of paralleled each other, you know?
It is.
The Cumberland Trio come back and all that kind of stuff, and the Pie come back. All happened about the same time.
Time, oh time, where does it go? Time, oh time, where did it go?
Time, oh good time,
where did you go?
Horse, duck.
Horse is a duck? Quack. Another best demos that I've got out of my just tapes and shit I made and stuff. And then I met Kathy Harrison, and Jack's Tracks was closing, and we went and we had an album at Jack's Tracks with all of my favorite musicians and did all of my songs on there. And there it is for now, other than this album, which is my first true production as a producer. Came up with the songs for my idea. I'm actually appearing on the tracks, and I'm on every swarm on this album. As a musician, I'm proud of that. My last effort. There it is. There's the stack. Now you have plenty of coasters for your living.
I've done my time and paid some foolish dues. Still, I got a good feeling that these hard times will pass, 'cause I saw it all when I was looking through the looking glass.
that's given the band in search of wealth and fame. No, you couldn't know me. I've never been here before. I offer my tunes in corner saloons and exit through the alley door. You say it must be wonderful to travel from town to town, but if I could choose, I'd hang up my shoes and think about settling down. 'Cause I'm an unknown rambler, I never get the bigger pay. Yeah, but if I can make you smile, I'll linger a while, and tomorrow I'll be on my way. 'Cause I'm nobody famous, I'm nobody famous, no, no, no. I'm nobody famous, and you wouldn't even know my name. I've been a million miles since morning, burning across the sky. I watch the sun rise in my window from the moon's dark side, racing through oceans of stars back to you. Leave on the light tonight, leave on the light, I'm headed for home base. Leave on the light tonight, leave on the light, leave on the light. Granddaddy drove an 18-wheeler, my daddy learned to fly. Travel and blood runs in my family, I chase the satellites. Mission